Hello and welcome to this edition of News from the Hill. I'm Elizabeth Sloan Ragland, and of course on this program we highlight the many positive things that are going on the Hill. We talk to people from the community. We talk to people who are on the national and international level. And today we have a very special group of individuals who are going to tell you about a wonderful, wonderful competition that was won by the Alabama A&M University Rocket Team. I'm going to let them tell you who they are, a little bit about themselves, and then we are going to talk about rockets, competition, and winning. Welcome, gentlemen.
How are you doing today?
How are you today?
Doing fine. Please tell us who you are, and then we're going to talk about the rocket competition.
All right. Well, Liz, thank you for having me back once again. I'm Chance Glenn. I'm the Dean of the College of Engineering, Technology, and Physical Sciences here at Alabama A&M, and I'm really here as a proud dean right now because these people that are brought with me, we have some exciting news, and we're going to talk about what engineering is all about getting things done. So I'll let them introduce
Thank you, Dr. Glenn. I'm Muhammad Saif. I'm the chair of Mechanical and Civil Engineering Department, and at the same time, I'm the mentor for the rocket team for the last 5 years. I'm really very proud with the accomplishment of our team this year. In fact, it's a good effort and a good, fruitful year for us this year because it built on the sweat and the hard working of the other teams before us. I would really introduce the rest of the members with us. So to my left is Justin Taylor. He's the head of the rocket team for this year, and let him introduce himself.
Yep. I'm Justin Taylor. I'm the senior rocket team leader, and I'm also the AIAA president at the university.
My name is Shaquille Dow. I'm a junior at the university. I major in mechanical engineering, and I'm the co-lead of the rocket team.
And I'm Ricky Muirhead, a junior here at A&M. I'm studying mechanical engineering, and I'm a second-year member of the rocket team.
Wonderful, gentlemen. A lot of brain power in this room. Now, the headline, of course, was AAMU Rocket Team wins NASA lunch. Let's talk about that. Let's start from the beginning. How does one compete in a rocket launch that is sponsored by NASA? And to whom do you credit the idea of saying Alabama A&M University can do this? Let's talk about it.
Well, Liz, let me set the stage for you, and then I think Dr. Saif can best give you the background and how it's all come together. But, you know, beautiful Sunday morning, and over 40 college teams. Now, there were even more than that because there were teams from middle school and high school who competed as well. But the competition involved over 40 schools. We're talking about schools like Georgia Tech, MIT,
Okay, the big schools.
the big schools, all bringing their rocket designs there to compete in a series of different types of tests. But the most important test, obviously, is the design of getting the rocket to go where you want it to go. I mean, without that, there's even no point of having a competition. And this is the area that was most critical, most difficult, and most important, and we were able to walk away with that. So, Dr. Saif, please.
Thank you, Dr.
Okay.
Glenn. Yeah, really, when we look at the competition and the requirement, we said we can do it, and we have the will and the perseverance to do it. And we have enthusiastic team members who are ready and willing to do that and get involved in this competition and prove that at A&M we can start here and go anywhere, as our president always says.
Even into
Start here
space.
and go anywhere. That's
Yes,
right.
that's true. So the NASA competition mainly is there are certain requirements you have to follow and abide with, like achieving a target 1 mile plus or minus 200, other than you will be disqualified. Safely recover the rocket. You have to have a scientific payload inside to do an experiment, scientific experiment. So there are many requirements for this competition. So the student has to submit a proposal to tell to NASA people that this is what we are planning to do, this is what we're planning, how we're going to build our rocket, and to put everything design on paper and submit it as a proposal. Once they accepted this proposal, then we are part of the team or part of the competition. So you have to submit a proposal, you have to pass through the evaluation, and then you'll be accepted as a proposal, then you will be ready for the competition. And then there are certain processes you have to go through, certain design, development. You show them your design and then on paper, and then you do some testing and you do another evaluation. You show them the result of the testing. They allow you to be ready for the competition or not. So there are a lot of procedure has to go through to prove yourself and to be ready for the competition.
And this is a long-term process. It's not like a week or two. It's
No,
a
no,
long-term
no.
process.
It's a whole year, academic
Okay.
year.
All
It
right.
started from last August and it ended by the end of April. In fact, it's not ended yet. It's the end will be by the middle of May when we submit our final report. So we still have to submit a final about the results and how is the data from the payload and so on. So there are still going on.
Now, how are students chosen to be a part of the rocket team? Are they in competition with each other here at the university? They contact someone in engineering and say, I think I'd like to be on the team. How does that work?
Now, Justin's a senior.
Okay.
And you've been involved with the team for,
For 3 years.
okay, so why
3 years.
don't
Yeah,
you talk about how what
No, the
drew
way
you
I
to-
was brought into the rocket team was when I was a sophomore, and they put up flyers and said, come join the rocket team, and had a meeting about, members coming to be a part of the rocket team. So basically, anybody can be a part of the rocket team as long as you're going to be committed to the 8-month process. So that's how I got involved, and I started from there and been on the rocket team ever since.
And this is in addition to your regular classwork, I
Yes.
take it?
Yes.
Okay. So you have to keep up the grades, go to class, and still work on the rocket team?
Yes.
Is that right? Okay. Let's hear from the other two young men about their involvement with the rocket team.
This is my second year on the rocket team. Last year, I had a friend that graduated from here, Brandon Howard. He told me, he said, since you have so much free time, come be on the rocket team. And last year, I came to be on the rocket team. He showed me a lot of things. I worked real hard. I came back this year. He told me last year, he said, I want you to do the rock sim simulation. And I said, all right, I'm going to learn it, download it to my computer, learn how to do it. And basically, I've been doing rock sim ever since he left. He showed me how to do it, and I passed it on. I'm going to pass it on.
Now,
that-
for those of us who don't know,
Yeah, I was just
explain
gonna-
that.
That's the simulation tool. RockSim is the simulation tool that they use to design the rocket to do what it's supposed to do from beginning to end. And they can tell, giving all the parameters that they put into it, whether or not it's going to do everything. Now, this thing was pretty accurate.
Very accurate.
Yes.
Very accurate. Within a few feet accurate.
Basically, March 9th, I think, the day after spring break, it was spring break first started, we went to Manchester, Tennessee. We tested the Cicerone L800. We flew 3,823 feet. I came back to my room, I went home to Montgomery that Monday. Dr. Safe told me, he said, work on the rock sim, get the simulation to match what we did in real life simulation. And I went the whole spring break. I was sitting at home. I worked. I got the simulation to run the L800 that we flown in Manchester, Tennessee. And from there, we ran plenty simulations of plenty motor to see which motor would shoot us over a mile with 8 to 14 wind speed because that was the wind speed we had when we flown. And the second time we went to Manchester, Tennessee, I want to say like March 29th, March 30th, we used the Aerotech 1170. It flew 4,622 feet. So Dr. Safe told me to go back to my rock sim, see can I get that simulation to match up. I told him, I opened up my computer, looked at my rock sim. I already had that simulation in my rock sim. So basically we came back, added up some more motors that would get us a little bit over 1 mile, which is 5280, and we decided that we was gonna use the L1420 to lunch with in the competition.
Okay, test, test, test.
Yeah.
All
Test,
right.
evaluate, and redesign, and go back again. That's true.
Okay. Now, how did you become a member of the Rocket team?
Well, it started my sophomore year, sitting in Dr. Safe class, and he mentioned it, and it kind of sparked my interest. So I went to the meeting, of course, and they were saying certain things about how it would look good on your resume and all this. So I decided to get involved in working with these guys for 2 years. It's been amazing, and all that we've accomplished, and I'm very proud of it. So I'm gonna continue to do this until I graduate.
Well,
You know, you could almost equate this to winning the NCAA championship game. You know, and the preparation, the work, the hard work, all came together over the course of, you know, a long period of time. You got a coach here that you know, worked his team and got his team together, and they got out there. And this is the thing. This was a national stage. You know, all the preparation, everything, but this is a national stage, and it's time to walk out there and make it happen and get it done. And they did everything that they needed to, even down to some decisions that had to be made at the last minute. They did that in order to win this competition.
whether to pass the ball or whether to take the shot.
Exactly.
They had to
exactly.
make
That's true.
decisions.
They had to
That's
make a
true.
decision.
That's true.
Now, that's very interesting. Tell me about this last-minute decision. I heard you all talking about making that last-minute decision to go this way or go that way. Let's talk about that decision. What was that decision?
Well, yes, online today, we had a specific rail that we had already prepped for. We already tested on this rail in Manchester, Tennessee in March. And when we tested it in Manchester, Tennessee, the rocket came off the rail straight vertical, which is a huge difference from coming off a smaller rail. It's a 2 or 3 feet difference. So when we came to competition day, that rail that we wanted to use, which was the Vanderbilt rail, it was the only 18-foot rail out there. There was no other team that had an 18-foot rail. So it was always being taken. It was every round of rockets, it was taken. So we had the chance to either use a 12-foot rail or wait for the 18-foot rail. And I said, I mean, there's no way we will get the same results that we did when we tested it on the 18-foot rail, because there's a big difference within the feet off the ground. So I had to think, and I talked to the team, and I said, do we just want to shoot the rocket and, wish good luck, or do we want to perform in the way that we know we can perform? So all we had to do was just be patient and wait, and we was the last team to go. And nobody expected it. We were the last team to go.
Okay.
And when we shot off, we were a success because I knew we had calculated every variable perfectly. And I knew we shot off that 18-foot rail, we were already winners.
They also had a late night session. Maybe you ought to let them tell you about their late night session right before the launch to help nail down some of the parameters.
What do you mean? Oh.
Shaquille, you want to go?
Yeah.
Okay, last Saturday night after the banquet we had at NASA, we knew that we had the best looking rocket throughout the whole competition, like we won last year. We was denied that award this year. We all was kind of mad, angry after we left. We had some final touches where we had to put our camera and our scientific payload in the rocket and put it together for lunch tomorrow. So 10 o'clock that night after we left the banquet, we went to the annex. We was thinking, we calculated that the wind would be 15 to 25 miles per hour. We looked at the temperature, the Weather Channel. The Weather Channel said it would be 8 to 10 miles per hour. First, we had a 45.3 pound rocket. We ran it in the simulation with the 8 to 10 mile per hour wind speed. It was giving us 5,300 feet. So we said, no, we gotta make some changes. We thought, we ran simulations adding a couple ounces, till it got us to 47.3 pounds, which was 2 pounds more. And on the constant, out of 5 simulations, the average was 52.73. And on lunch day, we won with 52.69.
Okay. It paid off.
Yeah, paid off, yes.
That work after hours.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, we met, we said, guys, go change your clothes, wear your work clothes. Well, let's meet in the annex at 10 p.m. and we're going to stay till we finish this business. We need to win, and there is no any excuse except winning. And we were ready for winning because really we both, even Justin, he has also got the board so he can write the number on. It was prepared before the winning.
Yeah, the night before, I knew we had worked hard that night. We was up to 1 o'clock. We ran at least 60, 70 simulations on RockSim, and I knew we had once RockSim said we need our rocket to weigh 47 pounds. I knew it weighed 45 pounds, so I said, okay, let me go buy some bags of rice. All right, and once we get this rocket weighing 47 pounds, and I also bought 2 blackboards, 2 folding blackboards, because I knew I was going to write our winning altitude on there. I knew we was going to hit 52.70. And you can see, actually, I actually have pictures of it. When we won, I wrote it on there. I already knew we were going to win, just from buying those 2 pounds of rice and knowing what I was going to do with them and how it was going to affect the rocket. I knew we were going to win.
So it's confidence, but I always tell, I have a son that's about their age, and I tell him and my other son, winning and is about preparation, and you can be confident when you're prepared. It's one thing to be cocky and have swagger, but it's other when you're actually prepared and and that's what it sounds like. Now, I've told them that next time we go, we're going to have our own launch pad, so we'll know exactly what we're going to have, what we're going to do.
You won't have to wait or borrow.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right. But I am so proud of this whole team. And I kind of use this example tongue in cheek about the NCAA championship, but this is national level team of the best schools who are all trying to reach the same goal. And this is equivalent of, think about the pandemonium in the streets if Alabama A&M's basketball team would have won the national championship. Well, these guys won the national championship for a field that is critically important, particularly in this area with NASA being here, right, and the work that's going on there, and where we're trying to reach for some of the new initiatives for the space program. This is the equivalent. So we're really excited about it. And we have, and Dr. Saif has said that we now have a stamp and a stranglehold on this competition.
That's true.
And we're not going to let it go.
In fact, I found from previous years that when we do something, I found that the other university look at our booth or our table to see what A&M is doing, what A&M is coming with this year, and so on. Like when we started with using this small remote control and sensor or altimeter, everybody was covering us the next year. Something like that. But at least we put our feet in the competition, and now everybody realized that A&M will come up with something every year.
Very serious about the competition.
Exactly. Yes, we are.
And confident that you can do the things you need to do to be right there with the big schools. More than 40 other schools in competition, and A&M won.
That's right.
That's true. That's true. I always tell my daughter that if somebody did it, you should be able to do it. All what you need to do is just you do the right things. And preparation, you do it right, and you will win.
Now, do you build the rocket from scratch? Do you get a kit?
Oh no,
How do you get the rocket?
This rocket is from scratch. I mean, it's
Okay.
basically we buy the material,
Okay.
the pipe. We have the diameter of the rocket, but we have to cut. We have to make angles. The fins have to be a 90-degree angle from each other all the way around the 4 fins. We have to cut it down. It's G10 fiberglass, so it's very tough material. And it's basically the rocket. It comes. We may have, I don't know, maybe 15 foot of material, 16 foot. Our rocket is only 10 feet. We have to make serious cuts, precision cuts. Have to do a lot of gluing. We have to do some nailing. I mean, it's a real hands-on project. You have the design phase, and then you have the technician phase where we actually build the rocket. So it's pretty cool.
You build it yourself?
Yes,
Yes,
exactly.
from scratch.
From scratch. It's not a kit. You can't buy it like that.
Okay.
No.
So everything we try to promote in our program, applied sciences, applied engineering, the design at the most basic, nearly theoretical levels, but design at that point, all the way to cutting and putting, materials together and then going out and testing it and watching it happen. All of this happens in this process, and this is exactly the kind of thing that when they go on to their professional lives, this is exactly the kind of things that they will be doing. And there's no better way to get that experience of being with a team and working together and accomplishing a common goal. You're not going to get better experience in that than doing it like this.
Let's talk about building that team and that ability to work together. Okay? Let's talk about that. How important is that to have the right people, the right will, the right personality, the ability to compromise, work as a team? Talk about that, gentlemen.
On the Rocket team, basically, we can take anyone that is willing, has a desire, and ready to work. Long days after school, you got homework. But yeah, we got work in the Rocket team in the annex too. Which one you want to do? You can do your homework. We know school important, but at the same time, we have this competition we have to win. Therefore, like, anybody can be on this team if you just want to come work together with someone, with the team, and work hard. Anybody can be on this team.
Okay. Right attitude and
Yeah.
working hard.
Basically, like what he said, it's mostly about being dedicated and making sacrifices. That's really what it comes down to. So we have, people have their different work schedules and homework and tests coming up, but it's all about making that sacrifice in order to work with the team that gonna have your back, and then y'all execute together and perform well.
Wonderful.
Yeah, usually when we started at the beginning of the semester, we have like a plenty of people like to join the Rocket team. And then it comes to narrow down to those who really would like to do it. It's always happened. We wish they continue with us till
Right.
the end, but this is life. Maybe we need to do some extra activities, or maybe we need to come up with an innovative way to keep them with us.
What's next? You've won.
Legacy is next.
Talk about legacy. And the name of the rocket, I believe, you had a special name, is
Yeah.
that
The name of the
right?
rocket was
This year is
Sovereign.
sovereign. Service is sovereignty.
Okay, service
So-
is sovereignty,
yes.
and your name of the, okay.
So next year, well, we are gonna start this summer. The frame takes about 2 days now. Basically, next year we're working more into the payload of the rocket so that we can win in the scientific area, so that A&M can be on top for scientificness too.
Okay.
And next year, I say, since this year we started the legacy, next year we're going to name our rocket Legacy.
All right.
So we can keep continuing that legacy of winning rockets for A&M University.
Fantastic. Congratulations to
Thank
all
you.
of you.
Thank
And thank
you.
you for coming and talking with me and the audience about this. I'm sure it's exciting for not only the Alabama A&M University family, but also for the Huntsville-Madison County, the state of Alabama, national and regional implications. So again, congratulations on
Thank
your
you.
work.
Thank you.
Thank
for
you very
having
much.
us.
Thank you for having us.
I'm Elizabeth Sloan Ragland, and I have been talking to the Rocket Men from Alabama A&M University. Thank you so much for watching News from the Hill. Hopefully you have learned something about Alabama A&M University that you didn't already know. Again, thank you for watching News from the Hill.
Oh, I see.
Looks like it's all tied together. Nice long piece of chocolate.
Forward about 600 feet of the light line. The rocket's coming more towards us at this particular time. The winds are coming more southerly. The rocket's coming down now, about 2,800 feet. We're looking for a main at about 700 on this.
Wrapping up the chalkboard nicely.
It's coming down to about 1,800 feet, 1,500, 12,000. Looking for the main just about now would be nice. There we go. Pretty great. Bright sky, everybody clapping. And the rocket's going to land right down by the pad that it took off from. There we go. Can't get no better than that.
Wow, that's closest to the pin. One actually went up and probably landed right near your launch pad. That may have been the closest one back to the launch pad yet today.
Yes, it sure was. Hopefully, it's the closest one to 5280 when we go out
So
there.
you shoot for that altitude, weren't you?
Yes, yes.
So you happy with the flight so far?
Oh, yes, it was a great flight, very great flight. Joe came out at Apogee, and Maine came out at around 700, so we did pretty good.
I'll let you guys go get your rocket, and we'll see how it did.
All right.
All right, thanks a lot. So that's the team from Alabama A&M University here in Huntsville, Alabama, the last launch of the day, and it was a beauty.